But first, let me switch to English to give a warm welcome to our international speaker joining us live from Frankfurt, I believe it is, in Germany. Erik, who's the Global Innovation Director at DB Schenker, will give us a presentation with the title Logistics of the Future, where he will give us an insight of how logistics will change, but also what has actually already changed. And don't forget to ask questions in the Q&A during the presentation. With that, please help me in giving a warm welcome to Erik.
So hello from Frankfurt, and many thanks for the invitation here. And first of all, I struggled a little bit because everything was in Swedish. Thought, okay, now I have to switch to Swedish, but unfortunately my Swedish is not that good. So many thanks that I can do that in English. And again, as I said, many thanks for this great opportunity to speak here to this big audience, to present the view of a logistics expert on our industry, how we believe the topic of new competitors, new technologies, new challenges that we all have to tackle somehow will change already today, has already changed, and will change by tomorrow and the day after. But let me briefly introduce myself. So as already said, I'm Erik Wirsing, Head of Global Innovation at DB Schenker, so hopefully a well-known logistics company. And I'm driving every R&D topic, startup correlation topics, new technologies. And I'm always telling my friends and family, everything that does not fit to our current business model, that's popping up on my table. So therefore, all the new stuff, the new opportunities, new challenges, these are with me. Therefore, I call the title Logistics of the Future, and of course, it will be definitely different. As you can see already directly under my name, there is a small W3W, Savers, Gossip, Drones. That is a special small address, and what is exactly about that, I will tell you later, but that is already something that helps us as a logistic professional to be aware about concrete and better address systems than maybe today. So, and I, as a logistics person and driving global innovation within DB Schenker, I directly start with beaming or teleportation. Maybe it might be there in the future. So that might be then a challenge for us as a logistics company or logistics industry in total. Because then, let's say our current business model is then gone. Maybe we are doing then spare part logistics for beaming stations, but then we need something new. I think theoretically, they have already done some calculations and some scientific people know already how to do it. It costs plenty of energy, so therefore in the next decades, the topic will hopefully not be there. But we have to be prepared for new opportunities, new business streams, new revenue streams, new business models. And the question is, of course, what do we do in the meantime until this might be there? I think you all know Schenker, or briefly some small figures around our company. We are roughly 150 years old in 130 countries, 17 billion sales last year, and 76,000 employees. But I'm, as an innovation person, always have to tell the people that's quite cool. These are great figures, but yeah, so what? That will not protect us for the future. If we don't care about future, about new trends, new opportunities, new technologies, new competitors, then we are in big trouble. So we always have to have a look into the future, into the new opportunities to really see, is there something out there that might be a threat, might be an opportunity, something that we have to test, to integrate, to cooperate with. That is something what we all should do and have to do. And of course, there are plenty of challenges at the moment out there. I will not go through all of them, but of course, there are some challenges that we all know. Digitalization, of course, that is one major topic that is also driving our industry. And I think the whole logistic industry has maybe somehow missed the train some years ago. And now since 5-6 years, we all try to run and to catch this kind of train and to speeden up here, because all of our customers are demanding for this kind of topic. There is no payment from our customer side for manual things and manual tasks. And of course, we all have to provide a lot of transparency into our operations, into supply chains. It's all about data analytics to really deal with the right data to the right moment and the right outcome. So that is all something that we have to tackle. And of course, as you can also see here directly in the middle, of course, something like our current situation with all the pandemic, that is a global effect. That's something 1 year back, nobody thought that something big like that could happen. And the circumstances where we are at the moment and all the things that we have to tackle coming from the COVID-19 pandemic are absolutely a global topic, and we all have to tackle them. And I would say honestly, 5 years back, when the same situation would have happened, I think we were all even more in trouble and even more problems. But I think even our industry and also our customers has done somehow a good job over the last years to bring systems into the cloud environment where people are also able then to work from home. And as you maybe have read the number, we are at Schenker 76,000 people globally. And we had in the peak season, we had 26 to 28,000 people sitting at home, working from home, and were able to do their normal business and normal job. That was quite cool, quite successful. And here you also can see somehow differentiator to some competitors who are struggling with that. But nevertheless, here we are all sitting in the same boat, I would say, and trying to find opportunities to deal with the circumstances, trying to protect our colleagues, our customers, our suppliers, and to be even faster with new opportunities and about new changes and challenges. Of course, sustainability here on the right side is also a topic that is driving logistics in total. I think we have in whole Europe roughly 25 to 30 cities who will close their doors in the future for the next years already for diesel trucks and diesel engines. So that's a big topic and big challenge for us as well. And when we are then going to our OEMs, Daimler, Volvo, Scania, Iveco, and so on, and trying to purchase, let's say, some more electric truck, that's quite hard. Recently, last week, we got the first electric Volvo truck in Gothenburg, but that's only a small number. And of course, when you think about the whole European land transport organization, and it's not only Schenker, it's all the other companies as well, we all have here a big issue by finding the right trucks. Electric is at the moment the most preferred topic, and a lot of OEMs are jumping on electric, but even hydrogen, I think from the carbon footprint and from the global carbon footprint makes even more sense. There are big funding announcements from different countries and different governments by the next years. But that is something we also have to drive and to be aware and really to help the industry, also our customers, to use this kind of technology, to integrate it into our supply chain operations and to really make it happen as a sustainable business model, sustainable vehicle for our operation. Maybe also on the left side, the lack of personnel. I think before the Corona topic happened, it was even harder, but even there, we still have the challenge, maybe in the European land transport, and the whole industry has the challenge to really find truck drivers. I can give you maybe 3 numbers about the average age of a truck driver at the moment. So in Germany, for example, it's sometimes in some regions, we have an average age of 58 of a normal professional truck driver. In US, we have 56. In Australia, we have 65. So that's a huge topic that we have to be aware of. It's all about security, it's about job models, it's about flexibility, and that is something that is driving innovation, that is driving automatization, autonomization, because some people always think with autonomous driving, a lot of people will lose their jobs. Not, of course not. I think we are looking forward to hire even more truck drivers, but there is nobody there who is doing this kind of job. So therefore, even to do our current business, what we have today, even by tomorrow, even for that, we also as a logistics company has to concentrate on automatization, on autonomization, to really find opportunities to do the business and to fulfill the demands of our customers. Going to the next slide, because this is here maybe a small innovation outlook for even this year, because coming with all the circumstances where we are at the moment, where we having all these issues with working from home, with the shutdowns of regions, of countries, that is a huge topic. And of course, Corona was somehow also kind of a boost for digitalization. I'm coming here from Germany. I can tell you stories about schools and university. They had to speed up extremely in the last months. And I think if Corona would not have happened, then that would take 5-6 years and even more in some regions to be on the same level where they are at the moment. So that was somehow a booster for digitalization and a booster for new opportunities and also for innovation mindset. But of course, we also have to be aware that in this high uncertainty at the moment where we are as a whole industry, many innovations are not done or not tested or not started, because nobody really knows how this whole situation will develop in the next weeks or months. So therefore, we all a little bit shy in really doing great things, or let's say bigger things. We all had somehow the mentality to keep the lights on, but in all the crises and all the topics, and when big things are happening globally, it's always also the chance for new things and for new business models. And when we go back to 2008, for example, when we had the world economics crisis there, that was also the moment when new business models were founded. And for example, Airbnb or Uber, these are companies were founded in 2008 because it was exactly the right moment to think somehow differently, came up with new opportunities, and to really start something new. But when you also see here the resilience with China has become a strong innovation player in the middle here, that is something what we as European people really have to tackle, have to deal with, because for them, somehow the pandemic is not completely over, but somehow they are already has a deal with the situation, and they are now speeding up with innovation, with R&D, with new things, with startup topics, and they really speeding up all their AI activities, green technologies, and America as well. Even they are also in big trouble, but they have not really stopped. And here in Europe, we really have to think about how to do that, how to bring things further, how to speeden up, and also to see this kind of opportunities. Because when you see these opportunities, what we are now also seeing is a kind of oh, what was that? I think we were much too fast by the presentation. Trying to go back. Sorry for that. Here we are. No? Good. Sorry. And we're seeing all these possibilities here that are coming, but there are also opportunities. Also, when you think about the topic of deglobalization, because now every company, a lot of industries are thinking, do we really have to purchase everything from China, from America, from abroad? So there's a lot of topics with this near sourcing at the moment, bringing things back where the manufacturing area is and the manufacturing part. So this kind will change supply chains and also the footprint of supply chains. And that will be also an opportunity, of course, also for us and for our customers to really see when this kind of deglobalization are happening, to see a kind of opportunity for new opportunities, new business models, and new support for our customers. Because that will also increase a kind of digitalization, automatization, because normally people, or let's say companies, had walked abroad with their industry because the salary topic in our countries. But now when automatization and this near shoring or near sourcing or deglobalization are happening, that's also a big part to bring really business back into our countries. And of course, Corona is changing the trend landscape. And when you see about some of the technologies where we are very easily talking at the moment, so like IoT, 3D printing, data analytics, all these kind of technologies, 15 years ago, they were not really there. Track and trace somehow was already there, but some other technologies, maybe in R&D, but not really live. But that is something that will really speed up now, and where we as an industry can really also see it as somehow differentiator to our competitors, as new source for opportunities for new business models to our customers. And I think IoT is also something that will really speeden up kind of transparency for the whole supply chain. And digitalization, as I said it already several times now, is changing the rule of our overall game. But that's not a force of nature, it's really man-made, and therefore we as people, we as logistic professional can also change the rule of the game. So it's up to us to really see the opportunities, work with them, and trying to find new opportunities. Because we also believe in the logistics environment, there are some growth developments. So the logistic market in total will grow. Okay, 2020. So this year will be somehow going back a little bit, but in the next years we are seeing already that the foresight and the market size is growing, but the revenue for logistics people has to come more and more driven by digital business model. As you can see here, and that is an example of the digital journey of DB Schenker, we got roughly 1% from our digital business models in 2015. We are aiming to get already 20% in the next year, and the years after even more. These are supply chain consulting topics. These are platform topics, 3D printing topics, e-commerce topics, and so on. So different opportunities where we are really trying to find opportunities for new business models to integrate it. And I think all of our competitors and all the other logistics companies are having the same targets to really develop new services, new opportunities for logistics needs and demands. But when we're talking about autonomization, and some people call it Logistic 4.0, some people think, yeah, that's all self-optimizing topics and it's completely autonomous and that must be the target and then the revenue is coming. Yeah, but that's not an easy journey, and we all have to go these whole steps. And there's no easy way to jump directly from this computerization directly to the autonomization, the last step here. So you all have to go this step, and every single step costs time, costs effort, costs resource, costs money, and the final approach and the final revenue will come then when you reach the last step. But that's not the walk in the park. So you really have to tackle that, have to deal with the circumstances and really find ways, opportunities to bring things on the computer, to connect them, make it visible, transparent. Then you can predict, and then we are starting with automatization and autonomization. And of course, logistic people are not alone. So therefore, we always trying to find open innovation approach, open innovation thoughts, integrating scientific also into a kind of R&D topic. As one example, how we have done that is also to establish innovation labs. One here in Europe, in Dortmund, that's the western part of Germany. In Dortmund, that's a joint cooperation with a scientific institute, Fraunhofer IML. That's for Institute for Material Flow and Logistics. That is something when we don't find, let's say, a solution out there, when there is no startup working on the topic. So when there is really a demand or a problem or issue from something in the supply chain, then we bring that to our lab environment to really work on the topic, try to get within maximum 6 months a solution to really make it happen. So we have there big data topics, 3D printing, drone swarms, HEVs, robotic, packaging development. All this kind of stuff is influencing logistics and is bringing logistic topics further. And also sharing this with our customers, sharing this somehow with suppliers to integrate them to really drive the whole business and the whole industry further. So, but the question is, what's next? Because more to come. And of course, our mission as a whole industry, again, is to turn logistics company into really data-driven companies, because we as logistic people are all sitting on millions of data. So our focus is really to get a global data strategy analytics, because it makes also no sense to see it as very, very individual locally. So it makes more sense to bring this on a global scale, where you can really then bring data together with weather information, with holiday information, with all the free information that are available on the market, but also with the shipment information, tracking information, to really predict and prevent topics that really influence your supply chain business. So for example, we recently invented one algorithm with our data team, who can now predict to 96% how many shipments will be there in a normal branch, 94% correct by 7 days, and 92% correct by in 4 weeks. And when you know 92% how many shipments, where are they coming from, what's the volume, what's the size, 92% correct by in 4 weeks, then you can order a truck driver today and you're getting one. And you can also integrate this into your supply chain operations. And some examples to really open up this kind of open innovation are startups. One topic that was this Savers Closet drones directly on my landing page. That is with what 3 words. That's a very easy startup, but really speeding up logistic processes, because what they have done, they put a grid around the whole globe, and every square that you're getting then is 3 to 3 meter, and every 3 to 3 meter has exactly 3 words. So Savers Closet drones is exactly the entrance door of the building where I'm sitting in Frankfurt. So that's our building, but now everything on Earth, on the field, on the street, on the ocean, on an island, has now a special address. And you only need 40,000 words, then you have enough combinations for the globe. That is something that really speeds up address systems. Gideon Brother, a startup with artificial intelligence, HEVs, a combination where HEVs and people are in the same environment. Einride, a test very close to you. What we have done there, their first autonomous truck, electric base, who got really the official possibility to drive on public road. So the fun fact is here, because We applied to get a license for this Einride truck as a slow-moving vehicle, but then the Swedish government came back, nope, that's not a slow-moving vehicle, that's a truck. You're getting the permission as a truck, so yeah, that's fantastic. Then we are taking this, the legal circumstances as a truck. But then they also told us, because there is somebody still controlling the truck, not driving the truck, but sitting in the office behind 6 screens and keep an eye on the truck. But then the Swedish government also told us, yep, but then this person sitting behind the screens needs a truck driver license. Okay, that was a startup. Nobody of them had a truck driver license, so then they had to do the truck driver license and then the test go further. But, and the last thing here, because that is an Einride with an fully electric autonomous truck. The last thing here is a volocopter, something that will change logistics in the next 4 to 5 years. Heavy lifted cargo drone, already get the EASA permission to build and to design this kind of drones, flying 40 kilometers, carrying 200 kilograms. So that is something where we believe that will integrate new opportunities, flying on the island, flying on a mountain. That's a kind of a mobile crane for skyscrapers, offshore topics, hospital delivery, pharmaceutical products, and. So millions of opportunities. And the last 2 slides also to show you some new business models that are also influencing us, because there's Uber out there, there's Amazon out there are some of our customers starting to integrate really own freight operations. So there's a huge run on the market to really bring logistics business digital. And of course, 3D printing is a topic where we also believe that will be a huge market in the future, and we have already the first customer interaction. And also we printed roughly 7,000 pieces in the last year of plastic, aluminum, steel, titanium. That will really change our way we are contacting our customers, because the customer, we don't care if we store it somewhere physically in the warehouse or we print it on demand locally for the customer. And of course, last topic, and I wrote here 2024, Hyperloop. And I think there are also some Swedish initiatives on that, and there are also some French initiatives. That is 1,124 kilometers per hour, really a vacuum tube. And as you can see, it's for passenger transport and for cargo transport. There is already some rumors where the first track in Europe might be, maybe between Amsterdam and Frankfurt, or Vienna, Bratislava, something there. Vienna, Bratislava today 1.5 hours by car or by train, with the Hyperloop then 8 minutes. So that will really change speed. That will really change behavior also, from getting shipments even faster. The picture here is the first test track in America, but there is some ideas to really build up such a test track also in Europe, because we have roughly 15, 16 initiatives in whole Europe. Several companies and universities are working on this topic, and we are looking forward to integrate there also cargo as well. Yeah, that's me. So happy to discuss everything what might be interesting for you. That was just a brief overview about technology. Believe me, logistics is changing. It's a lot about the digitalization, new opportunities, new business models, new ideas of corporations, and startups are really driving us. I only gave you, let's say, 4 examples there, but we as Schenker are dealing at the moment with roughly 4,000 of them, and started pilot with 70 to 80 startups globally. So it's really a boost for the whole thing. And of course, in every bad thing is also something good, and we always have to find the good thing and the great opportunity to be prepared even for the future. So therefore, our hashtag is always stay hungry for innovation, because that's our purpose and driver for everything what we are doing.
Thank you so much for this, Erik. It was really interesting to listen to you and to get all these insights. And we've got several questions from our digital audience. We have at least a couple of minutes, so we'll try to ask at least some of them, I think. But I want to start with a question that we got from several people, actually. You've mentioned several of the main trends right now, but many people in the audience want to know, if you only get to choose one, if you have to put all your money on one main trend or one main game changer, what would it be? What do you think?
That's a hard one. So it's asking an innovation person who likes everything what we are doing here. But I think the data-driven business models and everything coming from data, to really deal with data in the proper way. I think that's one major thing. We also rehired, let's say, new disciplines of people here. So we also called in internally our hospital department, because they all have a PhD, but these are not medicine men. These are coming from mathematics, informatics, scientific people. And I think to really deal in our industry with data is not that known so far. Not that many companies are doing it properly, but I think that's the greatest opportunity, because when you have this kind of transparency about your data, finding the algorithm, then you can offer new opportunities, new savings for your customers, and also start new business models by consulting there. So data analytics, data topics are, I would say, it's the major thing at the moment. Because it will help you for all the other things as well. And even when you start something differently, you always have to be aware about your figures and about your data.
Really good. Thank you. And I want to see if I can find one more here that we can say. Yeah, we have one more question here. What are your expectations on truck manufacturers when it comes to digitalization of the industry?
Good question. I think there are different approaches from them. So I think there's some of them also trying to establish digital platforms to, let's say, bring their trucks in a kind of a pay-per-use way. So because they also have to tackle with autonomization. And when we're really seeing about level 5 fully autonomous driving, then the question will be, who will be the owner of the truck? Is it still the logistic company? Is it an insurance company? Is it a digital platform business model? So I think that is something what the OEMs also have to tackle, have to understand, and I think they've understood it quite well. And therefore, they all start somehow initiatives. But I also believe there will be some joint ventures, because it makes also no sense that Volvo is only working with Volvo and MAN only with MAN and Daimler with Daimler. So there must be, let's say, an overall approach when it comes to platooning topics, automatization, because when every OEM only works for its own, let's say, infrastructure, for their own capacities, then it's getting complicated on the street, because on the street we are moving together, and that's the challenge. So, and beside that, they also have to think about this CO2 neutral delivery, electromobility, and hydrogen as well. So I really would love to have more hydrogen trucks out there, and we would love to use them, but there's nothing there. And at the moment, I would say something where maybe the truck industry missed a little bit the opportunity, and now they're all trying to catch up and trying to find ways to bring it further. But maybe in some regions already too late.
Right. Thank you so much. Unfortunately, I think our time is up, but we would love to ask you more questions, obviously. But thank you so much for participating, Erik. It's been really interesting, and we look forward to continuing the dialogues at some other time. Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot. Stay safe and healthy. Bye-bye.
Thank you.